This is the Gundam Universe Tamashii Nation's Gundam Exia from the Gundam 00 animated series. So this is a action figure that is readily available at Ross for $11.99, or you could still find this at local retail for $25 to $27. The original purpose that I had in mind when I purchased this action figure was to use it for parts with other Gundam Universe Tamashii Nations action figures that I purchased at Ross for the same price of $11.99. So when I took this figure out of packaging, I was really amazed at the design. First, I had a bad impression of it because it was just way too plain. It was white, blue, and red. But the more that I really took a closer look and inspected the design of the figure, I decided to really research more on Gundam 00, the animated series, and of course the mobile suit itself, the Exia. So I really appreciated the mobile suit and the design the more that I watched the animated series. So instead of taking it apart to use for accessories for other Gundam action figures, I instead decided to really beautify this action figure. So when you take this figure out of packaging, panel lining is a must. So the details of the action figure is really going to pop out because it's all white. So the portions that needs to be panel lined when you place panel lines on this action figure, just for example this right now, especially on the head unit, details are going to pop out. Okay, so that's the first simple mod that I did to this action figure, panel lining. The second thing was to add a shield, because this portion or the left portion of the action figure is does not have any accessories. It is drowned out by that huge pistol and sword that is on the right arm. So I knew that I had to place something on this section to somehow balance the action figure. Okay, so this part is actually this is the skirt piece, the back skirt piece of the Gundam Universe Freedom Gundam. And this piece is going to be the CAD piece of the Gundam Universe Freedom Gundam. So I just glued two pieces together to make a micro shield, bored a hole through the forearm of the figure, and glued this piece to the forearm. So very simple mod. And the next thing that I did was to shorten out the blade of this really humongous sword or broadsword. So I was studying the pictures, especially this portion of the blade, and it isn't as long as the one that is with the figure when you take it out of packaging. Just way too lengthy. So with an X-Acto knife, I took out some materials on this section and just painted the sections where I took off material with black paint. That's very simple. So I placed an edge on it with an X-Acto knife, so it's just not going to be a flat, dull part. So just like a blade, it has still a edge to that point. Okay, and the third thing that I did, well, majority of the complaint of other reviewers with regards to this action figure is going to be falling pointy parts. So what are those? It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So all those parts are actually right now glued to the action figure, except for the swords or the sword daggers, whatever you want to call it. So let's take this off actually from the action figure. So just the blades. So actually you have that option of taking the blades off the swords that is mounted on the waistline. So that's it. So when you take it off, you could move the figure around, and because these parts are glued, things are not going to fall off. It's just the way that the figure is packaged in material, because just imagine how much of a packaging material is needed if you have those pokey materials on the action figure. So it's meant to be glued by who? By you. Okay, by me. Okay, so let's move on. Now, you could also have the option of just taking it off if you want to play with this action figure and not be hindered by any additional moving parts. Actually, it's good with the pistol, the broadsword. Or you could take off the sword and you could make use of the daggers or sword daggers. Very, very simple. Okay, so this section 2, actually this action figure has a lot of parts that could be taken off or glued on. So this section 2 could be removed, the shield. So if you want to customize this thing and mount it on this section, you have that possibility or option. Okay, so with regards to mounting the shield 2 on the pistol and the broadsword, you could mount it this way, or if it's going to lengthen that piece, well, you could mount it this way. So it's not going to be a very lengthy weapon system. So design actually really good on this. So a break from Gundam Wing Endless Waltz designs, Gundam Seed Destiny designs, and Gundam Mobile Fighter action figure designs. So this is a whole new thing to itself. So you'll be surprised at how beautiful this action figure is when you have it on hand. So with regards to articulation, because of the design, how this thing is designed, you have more articulation points actually. So for the waistline, that's it. For the head, actually you have 2 points of articulation for the head. It's on the base of the neck, the upper near the chin, and the lower near the sternum. So 2 points of articulation. Okay, so with this section, with the pointy parts already glued onto the action figure, you could rotate that arm, you could do the poses, and you could bend those elbows, 2 points of articulation. The handsets are on a ball joint, and you could drop the legs of this action figure to increase the area where you could move the entire leg. Also 2 points of articulation for the knee, and we have ball joint on the foot. So this action figure is really good to go. Well, compared to the other figures that I reviewed before, this is the action figure that is most mobile because of the clearances around the design or the design of the Exia itself. So I hope that I was able to convince you to purchase this action figure or even add this to your collection. If you're still thinking about it, you have seen it at Ross and have second thoughts with regards to purchasing this figure, because I'm glad that I purchased this figure and I went back this afternoon to take another one, because of course one is going to be in box while this one is going to be played with and displayed in my collection. So if you like this review, like, comment, and subscribe to help me grow my channel. And see you on the next action figure or custom action figure review.